Hello, everybody. My name is Amaj Ali, clinical audiological scientist and founder of Heurica OS. Welcome to the ninth video. We are looking at a normal hearing threshold in the right ear as per the red line that you see there, right at the top of the graph of this audiogram, which represents very good hearing. And on the left side, in contrast, there is a severe mid-frequency to profound high frequency mixed hearing loss because the masked BC values are not exactly superimposing the first line. There's a gap, and by that gap, we can conclude that there's a conductive element there. But there is also a sensorineural hearing loss, which is the top line being below the threshold of the cutoff point of where we consider normal hearing. So normal hearing thresholds is anything which is below 20. When I say below, less than 20 decibels, so 10, 0, 5, -5, all of that bit will be within the normal hearing threshold. So for the left ear, there is actually this point here at 250 hertz, which is within the normal range. So volume of and audibility of the voice won't be a challenge on the left side, but certainly the clarity, the vowels will be missing. And that we can see from this gray shaded area, which is called a speech banana. It looks like a smile, but the speech banana is where when somebody's talking, their voice would appear on the graph. In order for you to capture what somebody's saying in all the phonics, ideally the line should be above it, as it is in the right ear, as you can see with the red line, comfortably above the speech banana. No issues expected from the right side when we run the simulation from the right side. And from the left side, yes, there will be a stark difference in terms of clarity and vowels. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through 3 audio files. We're going to start with a female voice, male voice, and then classical music. So we'll start with the female voice first. And just to show the contrast, we'll begin with the right side, which you'll notice no difference. Then I'll flip to the left. When this is grayed out, we will be in the simulation mode. If this is the first time you're watching this video, I would really recommend that you get a good pair of earphones, you go somewhere quiet, and you concentrate. Try to work out what is being said when we are in the simulation mode. Give your best effort to understand what is being said. The reason I request this from you is that this will give you a sort of a little taste of what it's like to have hearing impairment, because every conversation is a challenge, especially when there's background noise. So even with good listening conditions, with a good pair of earphones, you're going to struggle to understand what's being said. And that gives you a little taste of what it's like for somebody who, if you add in any background noise, if you're not speaking clearly, if you're not taking your time to slow down the words, you don't necessarily have to shout, but just pace your words and speak and enunciate the words as clearly as possible. So if this video encourages you to do that, I've reached my goal. I'll be very happy. And I think this has been beneficial so far from all the feedback I've been getting from the different people who've been sharing these videos. So without any further ado, we're going to start with the female voice. We're going to start from the right side, and here we go.
The roster of Nobel laureates is studded with the names of great and deservedly illustrious persons. Some dreamers, some
So
men
no
of
difference on
action,
the right side as
a few
expected.
true geniuses. But there are giants missing
We're
from
now
the
going to go
list.
to the left.
For example, the most fundamental contribution to the physical sciences that has come out of America is the work of J. Willard Gibbs, professor of mathematical physics at Yale University during the last quarter of the 19th century. Gibbs had no laboratory. He performed no experiments. His only tools were paper and pencil.
So as you can tell, very, very challenging to work out what is being said. Unless you're very familiar with the words and the script, it will be very difficult. If I add any background noise to that, it's going to be almost impossible. The right side will compensate in a quiet room, so I wouldn't expect any major difficulties for communication in a quiet setting. But if you add any background noise to this individual, or you are speaking to the left side and the right is busy with noise, then that will be extremely challenging. So a hearing aid will help, and we'll talk about that towards the end of the video. Now we're going to go to the male voice and see the difference. Here we go.
No recurrent event in the intellectual world is so avidly awaited by so many people as the annual announcement of the Nobel Award. No formal honor conferred by man carries such distinction as a Nobel Prize. The awards are presented on the 10th of...
I'm not sure how many words you got there. I struggled, and I'm in a very quiet room. It's going to be very, very difficult in both male and female voices. Now we're going to pivot to classical music. When we play the classical music, when I go to the right side, no difference. When I pivot to the left, It's almost as though I've taken so many instruments away from the orchestra. The music will sound very flat and lose a lot of the tonality. So you're going to see that as quite an interesting illustration. So we're going to start with the classical music. Here we go. So hardly any difference at all in the right side. Now I'm going to simulate the left. And here we go. I'm not sure if you picked that up at the beginning of, or the second time I pressed the simulate button. The sound was very static, and that was actually mentioned in the comment section by this individual that the left ear sounds very static, and there's on top of everything else that's going on, there's tinnitus as well. So the audiogram does not, and the simulation that we're doing here does not replicate or sort of animate tinnitus. That's a separate thing. So people who suffer with hearing loss and have tinnitus, it can be very challenging. So hearing aids are actually a good treatment for both. Often if you get a well programmed and fitted hearing aid, a welcomed byproduct of that is that the tinnitus can also be helped. So I hope that video was interesting and that you found it useful. If there's any questions about this case, or if you want any of the formatting of this video to be changed, including me, if I'm rambling too much, please put it in the comments. I won't take it personally at all. I'm just trying to make these videos as useful and beneficial as possible. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next video.